I bought a lot of camera gear in 2023. Some of it was completely useless, and some of it completely changed my filming and editing workflow. So here's some of the gear that I regret not buying sooner. And these are things that most people don't talk about. I'm gonna talk about some things specifically related to desk setups for video editors and some little tools and cool gadgets that you can use when you're also out filming. Number one is the Sanken COS 11D, which I have right here. Now, the crazy thing about this mic is it sounds like a studio mic laved up to someone. It is super high quality and it's very expensive. In Canadian, it's about $550, I believe. And the reason it has this tag on it right here is because you can actually get it replaced. So mine just broke a little while ago. The ending that connects to the wireless lav system just completely broke. And I sent it into a repair shop and they fixed it up within, a week. It's expensive, but you shouldn't have to replace it very often. And even if you do, it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. Good audio for me has been pretty essential right from the beginning, which is why I bought a nice Sennheiser system to attach to my camera and to clip onto your person. But what I didn't realize is that this microphone system doesn't make all the difference. It also depends on the wire that you use. So you can spend a whole bunch of money on an expensive wireless lav system, but if it also doesn't come with a good microphone, then you might be out of luck for collecting good audio on the field. There's quite a few microphones around that $300 to $500 range that all sound really good. Some of them just pick up frequencies better than other. Some of them are good for lower voices. Some of them are good for all around. I've found that the Sanken COS 11D, which is this one right here, is just a good all-around microphone, and it was pretty reliable for me. I did have the mic cut out a couple times, but it was a pretty high interference place, so you can't really blame it. Next up on the editing side of things, we have a good pair of wired headphones. The reason I specifically say wired headphones is because if you're a video editor who edits your videos to sound, even if it's just a soundtrack and not even, some crazy sound design, you still need to have a solid pair of headphones that can connect directly into your computer. I know everything is going the direction of wireless these days with AirPods and, almost every other nice pair of headphones, the Sony WXM4s and the Apple overpriced earphones. All of them are wireless, which is great for everyday use. But if you are a video editor, there actually is delay when you get the sound in your ears from a wireless pair of headphones compared to when you're looking at your timeline. Okay, so if you're doing cuts to the beat and you're wearing a wireless pair of headphones, your cuts are actually going to be a little bit off every time because of the Bluetooth delay. Whereas with a wired pair of headphones, you don't have that problem. And this especially becomes important when you start adding sound design and you have to get really precise on when sounds fade in and out and footsteps. These ones specifically right here are Audio Technica. They're the $250 version, so they're pretty good. And honestly, you can get a cheaper version. I believe Audio Technica has some around $80 as well. But as long as you're getting a good balanced headset, and what I mean by balanced is that it plays all of the low ends, the high ends, it balances all of those out really well. It's not super heavy on the bass. Heavy on the bass might be good if you're listening to music, but if you're listening to your edit and you're adding whooshes or Brahms, having a heavy bass headset is actually going to kind of confuse you because it might sound really loud in your headset, but then you unplug your headset from the computer and you just play it normally through speakers and it sounds completely different. I could go on forever about sound, but just get a pair of wired headphones, please. And the next little tool that we have for editing is actually a kitchen timer. And you might be wondering, why would you ever need a kitchen timer when you're editing? But this is actually good for all kinds of work. So I have it sitting down, attached to my desk pad, and I can turn the dial here to make it go up. And then if you need it to go down, goes down. Anyways, you can basically just set whatever time you want press the button, the timer will start, and then it'll beep once the timer reaches 0. And the reason why I use a dedicated timer compared to just your iPhone is because when you need to get real editing work done, you cannot have your phone in your visual line of sight, especially if you're from my generation, because there's just too much social media, too many games that you could be playing rather than editing. It's just everything outside of the actual work that you need to get done is way more stimulating than what you're doing. So having a kitchen timer where I can just have it sitting on my desk and I can leave my phone in another room has really been helpful for me, and I just got this one for Christmas actually. And the very last thing is a bit bigger. It's a camera bag. I hope my camera can focus on me, but whatever. This is a camera, I call it a camera duffel bag, and the reason being is because you can just drop your entire camera, like a Sony FX6, which is what I'm recording on right now. You can drop the Sony FX6 into the bag without taking it apart. And if you do any work like me where it's fast paced and you don't know when the next good shot is going to come up, or you have to do a lot of hiking into your location, it can be a hassle to either just carry the camera rigged up 5-10 pounds, however heavy it is, just into a forest, or 3 hours on a hike just on one arm. It is brutal. With a camera duffel bag, or a Sachtler Doctor bag is also really popular. The Doctor Bag 4 that would be ideal for a Sony FX6 user. Having a bag that can fit your entire camera rig inside and you have super quick access has been really awesome to use. Of course, this is just my opinion and it's based completely on my work and my workflow. So if this doesn't apply to you, then I'm sorry, I can do a part 2 that's maybe more geared towards specific camera stuff, but I just think everyone talks about that and it gets a bit boring. So peace.